Dunkhaus, and we're going to talk about ratchets today and what sizes you need. And what are the sizes? Let's talk about it. So you're going to have 3 different sizes of ratchets. The sizes are in Imperial, and the larger one here is what we call 1/2 inch drive. It's 1/2 inch because if you measure from there to there, guess what? It's 1/2 inch. We then go down to 3/8. If you measure from there, it's 3/8 of an inch. And a little tiny one is 1/4 inch. So they're your 3 sizes: 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 1/4. Now, if you're buying your socket set, you're going to ask me, well, which size do I buy? Well, if you're working on a car, the way I like to think about it is 1/2 inch is everything under the car. So all your suspension tends to be much heavier, bolts, much stronger fixings, and you're going to need that 1/2 inch to undo stuff that's holding on to wheels not coming off and suspension arms not flapping about under your car. So 1/2 inch is a good one for that. 3/8 is much better for anything in the engine bay. This is too big, it's too chunky, you're not getting that into places. The ratchet's not fine enough, it's too chunky. So 3/8 for anything in the engine bay, and 1/4 inch anything inside the car, interior wise. You can use it in the engine bay as well, but that's the way that I kind of like to think about it. So do you need all 3? You kind of do. You kind of do. But don't stress, like a little 1/4 inch kit like this, really handy, really good, nice compact size. You can grab one, stick it in your glove box, keep it with you at all times. Not a lot of money, it's like 60 bucks. So that gets you your 1/4 inch sorted. Gives you most of what you need. I'd spend a bit more money on 3/8 stuff. That tends to be a good size to get the majority of the work done. So I can step mine up to 19. So anything up to 19, that's a pretty reasonable size bolt. You technically can undo it. I like to have the heavier stuff. My trade involved a lot heavier work, so most of the stuff that I did was 1/2 inch stuff. So you get a nice set of 1/2 inch bolts. So obviously that goes on there, doesn't go on there. Pretty straightforward. Now, if you've got these standard type of sockets, they're really good for doing standard type of work by hand. Don't put them on rattle guns. They're not designed for it, they're not strong enough for it, they're not designed for the forces and impact that you get from your impact wrench. Impact gun, sorry. Get specific impact sockets. Now these are nice deep ones that are designed for getting wheel nuts off of. Okay, so if you're going to do that, don't use your standard sockets, get impact sockets. It's an extra cost, but I have split these straight down there. It does happen. There is a potential to hurt yourself. There's lots of little tiny things that you can get to make your socket set easy to use and get into tight specific spots. This is a ratchet. I use this type from a friend, so that's a good point. Your mates are going to have lots of tools. Chat to them. What tools have you got? What do you like to use? Can I borrow it? Can I come around to your house and use it? You might find something like I did with this. A mate let me use it real quick while I was doing a job on the car, and it's fantastic because if something's in the way, this pivots, and then once the bolt's undone, you can come up and speed undo it. I love this thing. I spent the money on it, and every time I use it, it sparks joy. This is fantastic. I liked it, so I bought it. These little extension bars here are fantastic. They got a funny end on the end there, so instead of this just being hard mounted, there's a bit of wobble to it. So that's really good if you're in up under the dash and you're trying to get to that real hard to get to bolt and it's not quite there. You have a little bit of play and just a little bit of misalignment. So that's your socket sets. Do you need all 3? If you're working on cars, yes. So do it. Bye.